The reigning national champion Ohio State Buckeyes knock off the number one ranked Texas Longhorns in an insane clash. Now, the defenses in this game were spectacular. Obviously, the offense is not quite to the level that we believe that they could be capable of. Now, they are going to get better as the season goes on, but at the end of this game, Texas, trailed by 14 points, go right down the field after they get a stop on the Buckeyes. Nice throw over the middle from Arch Manning, and then throws a nice dime. I mean, holy cow, was this throw good. But Jermaine Matthews, who had played good in coverage throughout the day, had good coverage on that throw from Arch Manning. I mean, it was just dropped absolutely in the bucket to Livingstone. Matthews with the interception, obviously, on Arch earlier in the game. I've already got Matthews as a top 10 corner in the country after his performance. He was spectacular throughout the day. Physical, coming up to hit. We saw Igbinosun do very well in the game. We've known he's physical, but no holding, no PI calls on Igbinosun in this one. Now, before I want to get something clear here, Buckeye fans are going to come after Arch Manning, say things like overrated. I've always found those chants to be not becoming of teams, and I did like the fact there wasn't all that chippiness between the fan bases before this game. We just wanted to sit back and enjoy that college football was back. We get to see a rematch of a great semifinal playoff game, and so with this matchup, the game going the way it was, as a Buckeye fan, you were just thrilled. I mean, up 7, fourth quarter, even if you were up 14-0, you felt the game was in hand, you would take that every time. Up 7, trusting your defense to get a stop, just exactly like you did last year on the Jack Sawyer strip and score fumble. For the Buckeyes' game plan, it was obvious they wanted to get the ball to number 4. Get the ball to Jeremiah Smith early and often. And after the first quarter, how I knew that the Buckeyes had a great chance to win this game is that the biggest question that we were asking ourselves is, what's going on with JJ? Like, what's going on with Jeremiah Smith? Dropping 2 passes. He only had 1 drop last year, famously on the first target of his college football career. And so if your biggest question that you have, your largest concern, is with Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football, it truly is a champagne problem. He had a decent impact, 6 catches for 43, opened up a couple of things, but it was not the same effect of what it did last season in the semifinal game, where it opened up in Ibuka, Carnell Tate, Henderson a little bit in the passing game. Smith targeted 10 times from Julian Sayin, wanted to get him the football. I got to give a ton of credit to Texas and their cornerback, number 5, Malik Muhammad, had the tough task of basically shadowing everywhere he was on the field. I think Muhammad's a top 5 cornerback in the country. He'll be one of the best in the Southeast Conference. Probably will be him, and we'll see if Jermod McCoy winds up getting a little bit healthier. There's Leonard Moore for Notre Dame. There's Avian Terrell for Clemson. Jermaine Matthews Jr., though, might put himself into the top 5, or at least, certainly in my opinion, the top 10 this year. Now, the front 4, we got to talk about them for some time here, because we replaced 4 NFL player defensive linemen. The trenches with Hamilton and Williams were so good. We're replacing that, obviously, Caden McDonald and Edric Houston. The edges, Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, holy cow, were they just veteran presences, good players. You're replacing that with Caden Curry, who's been there, Kenyatta Jackson on the other side, but CJ Hicks also in a rotational role. Bo Atkinson, we saw the depth of what Ohio State has, the rotation. Atkinson had some nice plays in this game, CJ Hicks, and then behind those guys, you lose a Cody Simon. How soon do we see Arvell Reese come in and make an impact? That's what we were asking ourselves going into this year. Can Arvell Reese be the guy, the freak we've all... Yes. Arvell Reese was arguably the best player on the field next to Caleb Downs on Saturday. Reese was everywhere. Big hits, making stops in open field, the sack, tackles for loss, pass coverage. My gosh, was he playing well. Number 8 is an absolute baller. Sonny Styles, we obviously knew all about. Caleb Downs, He plays linebacker. He plays outside corner against their top receiving target. He plays in the nickel against their tight end. He plays up on the ball, rushing the passer. He plays back deep in the secondary, playing center field. He played every single position on Saturday. It was like Matt Patricia was going to show the entire country what number 2 can do, how he is going to cater his entire defense around this skill set, which basically means Caleb Downs can do everything. We still haven't even seen the guy miss a tackle yet. He erases mistakes in front of him, and it was truly a pleasure to watch. I am concerned a bit about the run game. Then again, you have to understand that's against Texas. They got Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill and Trey Moore, but that's exactly where you're a bit excited, is that Julian Sayin barely got touched. Julian Sayin didn't get sacked a single time. Julian Sayin had time to throw the football. That it looked like if Ohio State wanted a game plan where they had to drop him back 35 times, which seemingly is not at all a smart thing to do against Texas, that I think Ohio State might have been able to have success doing that, because his throw to Carnell Tate had time to throw that ball. He underthrew that thing. Carnell Tate, great route. Not the same thing as what Jeremiah ran on the first drive on that 4th down where he blew by, was wide open, should have had a walk-in touchdown. Underthrew Tate, but Tate makes the athletic grab, one hand kind of juggling that thing, scores the touchdown that breaks the game open, 14-point lead. It definitely got scary there for a moment. Texas putting it within a score, getting the stop, the ball back, ball at midfield. But you just have to say that the run offense will improve. You're going to settle in, but Austin Serval, Luke Montgomery, Carson Hinsman on the right side, Phillip Daniels at right tackle, Shabola like replacing Donovan Jackson, Josh Simmons, Fryer, McLaughlin, who had missed time after that Indiana game, who wasn't in there. All those draft picks and players, and replacing all of that, and you have that performance against what people had said, this is the best defensive line, this is the best defense in the country. Well, it might be, but for right now, you might have to say the Ohio State Buckeyes have the best defense in the country after that performance. Arch Manning touted as the Heisman Trophy favorite, Texas as the national champion favorite. We'll see how those lines wind up. I'm not going to be so bold as to say no shot for Arch. He can't do it. No shot for Texas. They're not going to be able to. They, after all, took us kind of to the brink, kind of extended our nerve. I was an absolute wreck. I'm glad that some of the sweat has been wiped away or evaporated here, because I was drenched. Obviously, no factor. I'm sure you were too. Everything was sweating, every single crevice. Like, we were just going through all of the nerviness at the end of that game, and for it to wind up with a win for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who will be the number 1 team in the country until they lose another football game. It's been a long time since Ohio State has held that number 1 spot and had every right to it, won a game early, beat the number 1 team in the country. What was it, 1985 Iowa, since they beat the number 1 at home. Quite a stat, that happening 40 years ago. Now let's talk about Texas a little bit here, because we do have to give them and continue. I've given them a lot of credit, but their offensive line and the job they did, this looked like a Buckeyes front 7, so ferocious. They look similar to the playoff run. I got to be honest with you. Didn't have the type of pressure on the quarterback, but in terms of getting to the ball carrier, cracks on the quarterback, being able to limit the explosive plays, they were doing all of that. It was really cool to see. And then Texas, their offensive line held up pretty well. Arch had time to throw. It's just now you give Ohio State secondary, Igbinosun, Caleb Downs, Jalen McClain, Jermaine Matthews, give all of those guys the credit that they deserve, because they held up. There were no windows for Arch to throw the ball. Until 4 minutes remaining in the game, Arch had nowhere to throw the football. Now, I don't see it philosophically that the Buckeyes played a prevent defense. It looked like they were aggressive, but certainly that is a little bit of the concern if you do play Texas again. Obviously, the game plan will be different. You have to start a game from scratch. You don't have the momentum like you did at the end. But Arch showed us why he was the Heisman Trophy favorite before this game with that throw and the touchdown Livingstone on Jermaine Matthews Jr. On the throws over the middle, just on pace and target. We saw him short arm a number of throws, him not get the ball to his guys in target. I mean, heck, if he gets that ball to Mekhi Wingo out there in the flat on that 3rd and 5. It's him and Caleb Downs in open field. I think Downs makes that tackle, but Makai Wingo in open field, if it's anybody but Caleb Downs there to make that tackle, like, he probably makes a miss. And so that was a huge missed opportunity for Texas. So that's the positive for Texas, is that they were on the brink against the defending national champs. They thought they should have beat the Buckeyes last year and didn't. Thought that they should beat Ohio State going into this game. So I just don't know exactly what you're telling yourself. It's almost like, yeah, we'll see those guys again. I would love to see Texas again. You're telling me we play him in the semifinal? Give me that. We play him in the national championship? Give me that. Give me a third chance to beat Texas and beat them once more. I love playing them, and I want to beat the best. If they're the second best team in football, I want to beat the team that people are saying can threaten you, that you're the champs and you got to beat the best to be the best. I want it. I want all this smoke. I want them coming out to, whether it be the Fiesta Bowl you have to play them in, or the Orange Bowl, you got to play them. I don't care what the venue is. Play them on a neutral site. Play them in their building. Fine with that happening. We'll be playing them in their building next year, which will be another fun game. Obviously, a lot of anticipation for that. But to wrap this entire thing up, we have to say that Julian Sayin and Ryan Day, the connection, you obviously could tell that Sayin was very much so prepared. The ball was coming out on time. If it wasn't going to be on time, he wasn't going to force the throw in a dangerous spot, that he was going to manage the game, wasn't going to be the reason you lost. And if you come down to it, Arch Manning's interception that led to 7 points, the 4th down and goal play, I was certain that they were going to pull that and throw a fade or a slant to Jeremiah Smith on the outside. That was beautiful to see him lined up against Malik Muhammad. One-on-one coverage, incredible seeing those two battle. I got Malik Muhammad as a top 5 corner in the country, but they handed off to Donaldson. That was a positive. CJ Donaldson just like falls forward every single time. He never goes backward. Didn't see that happen on Saturday. So having that type of impact guy in the red zone is really big, and on those 4th yardage situations. Even like Max Clare, that's a positive you can take going forward. If Max Clare was a concern, this kid is a great football player. He's going to be a big impact. So you saw a little bit the early nerves maybe from JJ, although it doesn't seem like the kid gets nervous. Max Clare, the drop on the 4th down. All of that will come together in the coming weeks with some of these matchups when the stakes are a little bit less intense and not so do or die on every single possession. And then as for Texas, clearly an elite defense, clearly a great offensive line, playmakers, getting Baxter back, Wisner on the outside, Livingston and Makai Wingo. Arch Manning will be an elite playmaker. We saw a glimpse of it. Holy cow. On that 2nd and 12-13 play, he shook Arvell Reese, got to the edge, got away from Edge Houston, and then got the 1st down and gain of 15. I was like, whoa. Like, that's just a different level of quarterback play, and a couple of nice throws, though. So definitely a lot of positive takeaway from Texas and for Ohio State, and who knows? This matchup might be happening for a 3rd time in about 7 months. So I appreciate you so much for watching. Certainly enjoyed this game. I really hope you did too. Whether you're an Ohio State Buckeye fan, which is what I assume, if you're a Texas fan, we can just all come together, enjoy that football is back. We just want to see more of these just incredible matchups, top 10s playing each other, iconic blue blood brands going up against each other. Let's have a heavyweight clash and walk away from it. So I don't think that the playoff committee should whatsoever penalize the loser of these games, but certainly give some kudos to the team that does come out with the win. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more content in the future. We're going to continue to pour this stuff out, build this community, because this is our favorite thing to do. So I will be seeing a lot more of you guys hopefully in the future very soon. So have a great rest of your day, and see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder, hi everybody. I'm Josh